As we begin the fourth and final hour on this Wednesday, appreciate everybody stopping by. We've Fat Joe and Joe from Vestavia. They have just brought food in. So the social taco crowd, they have been ever present today.
Jock strong, baby.
Absolutely. Appreciate that very much. Chubb Fathers, thank you down in Alabaster, giving us some wonderful certificates, and also Twin Peaks for food, Milo's for the drinks today. So it's been a great day, and appreciate everybody and their obviously their loyalty to this station, but also trying to help those in need during the holidays.
Well, another great place that you can go get food today if you missed out here is Big Whiskey's, because they have a full menu ranging from apps, salads, burgers to steaks. They also have plenty of screens that you can catch all the NFL or college football action all weekend long. School is back in, so you're probably really busy this time of year, especially with the holidays. Let Big Whiskey's do the work. They offer online ordering and curbside pickup for those busy evenings. Plus, their outdoor patio and green space with games is absolutely wonderful for families. So go see them in the Stadium Trace Village off 459 at Highway 150 near the Hoover Met.
Okay, so Fat Joe and Joe from Vestavia. Joe, do you want to get in and dance with him?
Is it a group dance now? All right, so Conrad is standing here. Joe's
decided he's bowing out.
Joe is bowing out.
Okay.
Conrad.
Go ahead, Conrad.
Do the pilgrim dance.
Make YouTube happy.
Squatting position.
All right, here we go,
now
Joe.
He goes jazz hands, little flare, oopa loopa, military press to the left, military press to the right, Macarena, belly rub. Now he'll start into his turkey flap, side to side, audible gobbles. Then he's going to finish up with his signature worm.
Oh, that was kind of like a push-up.
It's gotten a little bit better.
Yeah. There you go.
A little bit more flexible here in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Good job, Conrad.
So coming up this hour, we have a food challenge that he is going to have to do.
What's the food challenge?
The food challenge is in a 5-minute period, he has got to eat a whole can of cranberry sauce. He has got to eat half of an apple pie with his hands behind his back, and he's got to finish it off with eat a whole corn cob.
And Damien said that he would hold the corn cob for him.
Is that true?
Yep.
Okay.
Just so.
That's interesting.
Yeah. I don't ask questions.
Yeah.
That's that morning.
Well, you can't ask questions.
You don't ever know.
Like these days about that kind
they
of stuff.
spend a lot of time with each other.
They do. They're good friends.
Mm-hmm. A lot of sunrises together.
Yeah, buddy. Also, we will dump about 4.5 gallons of gravy on top of Conrad Van Order.
To make it better, it's expired gravy.
Yes.
With sausage chunks.
I am
going to advise him not to consume any of the gravy, even by accident.
That is going to be something else.
Because that could turn south in a hurry.
So what we have done is we've taken donations since last week, and we have met every tier of the challenges.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Yeah.
It was the first one was just him wearing a pilgrim hat. I don't think he's ever going to take it off. He's worn it for like 2 straight days.
I knew that we had found something when he tried it on the day before. He was set to wear it, and he said, wow, this is like performance
This
wear.
feels really good. And he told you yesterday he doesn't wear underwear.
No, that's his suit forever. So the gravy bath will come at 1:45.
Yeah, we'll do that before we go off the air today. But,
Okay.
I want to thank everyone again for stopping by, saying hello, and bringing some unperishable items.
We need to update people on what Trey Wallace told us. If you
Yes.
missed the conversation, and Trey always brings it every single week. He's with Fox and Outkick, but he hears a lot. But he relayed to us the teleconference, the SEC teleconference that Lane Kiffin was a part of, and said it got contentious, and I'm just trying to remember what Trey told us. He told us it was probably the most contentious teleconference that he can remember, as far as Lane Kiffin being asked the hard-hitting questions by national media members and Lane Kiffin squirming and not really answering those questions.
Yeah, asked him, Wilson Alexander, who is the writer yesterday, that actually it was on Monday when he had the story that broke that LSU had sent a private plane for the Kiffin family. He asked the question on the teleconference about what did your family members get away from their trips in regards to Gainesville, maybe Baton Rouge. And Lane Kiffin basically acted like, what are you talking about? Like this is some kind of unfounded rumor that the internet has created, you know. It's his family. that's getting off the plane that people have video of. I mean, nobody's hiding it. Matter of fact, yesterday, this is a great tweet. Peter Hamby, he tweeted out the following last night. LSU Lane Kiffin news. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry continues to get personally involved in the Tigers coaching hunt. At a political fundraiser in Baton Rouge tonight, that was last night, Landry said he had spoken to Lane Kiffin for 2 hours about the LSU gig. But he also joked that Matt Moscona knows more about the job search than he does, per a source in the room. So he's on this rubber chicken circuit, and he's given a speech, and he talks about how he has talked to Lane Kiffin for 2 hours about the LSU job.
So that only helps matters, right?
Yes. But meanwhile, Lane Kiffin is telling everybody that he is concentrating on the Ole Miss football team. All he's concentrating on
Mississippi
is
State. Got to win that Egg Bowl.
Yeah, got to win the Egg Bowl. Got to go 1-0. Blah 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 blah. So no, but according to the governor of the state of Louisiana, he talked to Lane Kiffin for 2 hours. It's amazing. So,
but he's going to let this play out as long as the Ole Miss folks will allow him to let it play out.
Sure. And then didn't Trey tell us on the teleconference that he said that he talked to the athletics director twice yesterday or today?
Yeah.
Already. Because they do yoga together.
Mm-hmm.
They're in a big class, whatever that is. And I guess he talked to him again. So
interesting theory that was texted to us is what if Keith Carter's part of a package deal with Lane Kiffin?
Yeah, what if Keith Carter is?
Hey, we saw Ross Bjork get plucked by Texas A&M, right? Mm-hmm. When he was at Ole Miss before he went to Ohio State.
Yep. So it's
I
fascinating.
appreciate that theory. I'll add that. Hey, look, I've seen crazier. Mm-hmm. Someone texting in Lane Kiffin as a child. He loves it. He loves it. He is a teenager trapped in a 50-year-old's body when it comes to social media and I guess what it does for him. Is that his way of expressing himself because he's so introverted?
So he also mentioned the fact that that Steve Sarkisian brought up his job status. And I'm reading a story now in which Steve Sarkisian responded to ESPN's Desmond Howard because Desmond Howard earlier this week stated that the coach might leave Austin after the end of the season, which kind of plays into the Diane Rossini from The Athletic, who told us, about 3 weeks ago, that she had talked to some people and that potentially Steve Sarkisian was wanting to get in the NFL. This is what Steve Sarkisian said directly from the teleconference this morning. I'd like to comment on something before I get into our team, something that has been bothering me now over the past few weeks, and this is people reporting that or insinuating that there's a possibility I could leave the University of Texas, and that is absolutely false and untrue. I'm not going anywhere. Never do I do this because I never want to be a distraction, so I never address these things. But at this point now, I feel like this is important that I do this, because it's important for our team. It's important for our university. I've had no discussions, not with my agent, not with the university, not with any other school, not with any NFL team, about going elsewhere.
That makes two of us. Who's been talking about Sark going elsewhere?
Well, besides Diana Rossini saying that somebody in the NFL said that they're open to taking the job, and then now apparently Desmond Howard on Monday tweeted out that I guess he could leave Texas at the end of the year. But I will give him credit for this. That statement that I just read is a heck of a lot better than what Lane Kiffin hasn't said. Now, I've said this a million times. They're all liars. I mean, you play this thing out, and you can only go by what they say. But at least he addressed it by saying, anybody that's saying this is insinuating that there's a possibility I could leave the University of Texas and that this is absolutely false and untrue. Lane Kiffin's never said that.
No.
He says, if you have a question about my future, call me or call Chris Del Conte, our athletics director, and we can set the record straight for you. So if everybody understands that, so moving forward, when some Joe Blow decides to put something on social media out there, we all don't run like it's gospel. Can we all agree to do this on this call? Steve Sarkisian this morning on the SEC television.
How many losses do they have right now?
That'd be 3.
Yeah. So You wrap up that 8-4 regular season. You miss out on the college football playoff. I'm sure that everybody's going to be beating on your door to hire you. I'm not saying he's not a good coach, and I understand why he said it, but it's not like that's been a whole lot of conversation in the past weeks, at least in these parts.
Yeah.
I mean, Sark and that Texas team, they're just kind of there, existing, going through their schedule.
Well, and what happens if Texas A&M takes them to the woodshed?
We'll say this. Sark, if we're comparing Sark and Kiffin's resume, Sark has made it to an SEC championship game.
And to the college football playoff multiple times.
So maybe that's who LSU and Florida should be talking to.
Possibly so. 1-800-239-WJOX. We have some time for some phone calls. Also, the Courtesy GMC text line, 205-834-9450. So much to get into for the final 45-plus minutes of the show. Hope you'll join us. This is Jock's Three-Man Front. It is 1:15. Welcome back in on this very special edition of Three Man Front. I want to thank everyone again for stopping by and donating some non-perishable items for our Thanksgiving food drop-off. It's been a great week here at Three Man in Front. Appreciate everybody's generosity. Also would like to thank Chubb Fathers down in Alabaster. We've been giving away some free food coupons from Chubb Fathers. Also Twin Peaks that provided us food. Fat Joe's enjoying some Twin Peaks as we speak. Joe from Vestavia needs to get over there and get that before it gets gone. Also want to thank Milo's for stopping by and providing all the drinks, the sweet tea today during our event. So a lot of great listeners stopping by, saying hello, and bringing some canned goods. So we appreciate that greatly. And many of you paid money on Venmo to be able to have an opportunity to watch Conrad Van Order dance every 15 minutes. So we're going to turn the camera around, and if you're watching on YouTube, I believe this is like the 14th? This is the 14th dance by Conrad Van Order. Here we go.
Very good. Yeah.
There he goes.
Yeah. He's about halfway through the routine. This is the more difficult stanza that he has dealt with. He goes gobble, gobble, and now he's going to go down to the worm. And this is where it's gotten problematic for Conrad here in the later hours. Yep. Yeah, I thought 2 dances ago your worm was the best one you've done all day. That one was a little sickly. See,
well, Molly will
tired.
be down here. Yeah, he's getting tired.
He's tired. We got another listener that showed up.
Absolutely. Look at that truck.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Very nice. Damian Mitchell's going to pick up boxes. Thank you very much. We appreciate your donation.
Conrad, give that.
Conrad's out of breath.
Yeah, he's tired. Molly needs to get down here and take over. She needs to tag in, do the dance. It's her dance. She created it. Why isn't she dancing?
She's the teacher.
I know, but pretty amazing.
All right, so call it right now. Where does he end up?
You're talking about Lane Kiffin?
Yeah. Did you see it where he just comes back to Oxford and it's just awkward for a little while? You know that ship has sailed. It feels like that ship sailed. Like he's been given a lot of leeway with the Ole Miss fans. There were the flirtations with Auburn. That was closer than a lot of people realized at the time. They gave you everything that you've asked for. They're still giving you everything that you've asked for that they can feasibly do. And for them to have an historic season, I hate it for the Ole Miss fans because you can't enjoy it. It's just hard to enjoy it. You could talk to Auburn fans about 2010 and going through that season and the whole Cam Newton thing.
Yeah. So we asked the Twitter folks this morning on our Three-Man Front Twitter poll question, if you're the AD at Ole Miss, what would you do if Lane Kiffin decides to agree to take another job before the Egg Bowl? The choices were coach the Egg Bowl, no college football playoff, coach Ole Miss through the CFP, or Lane's out immediately. And right now, 52% of our audience says Lane is out immediately. You do not let him coach another down for the Ole Miss Rebels. Coach Ole Miss through the CFP is at 41%. Coach the Egg Bowl right at 8%.
Yeah,
so that's the breakdown.
I agree. If he decides he's going to take another job, I agree if he can't answer the question at that point, because then you get a good feeling. If he can't answer the question now, what is the answer going to be, let's say, a month from now? And at that time, you've got recruiting, you've got transfer portal that's going on, a lot of stuff. Your top targets, they're already going to have new jobs, the targets we've heard. So then you're just going to have to find somebody to settle. It's a bad spot to be in.
It's a horrible spot to be in.
I don't see how you're a winner here if you're Ole Miss, unless it was Lane Kiffin coming out today and saying, you know what, golly, let's just put this to rest. I'm staying here.
Well, it's just funny because some of the national media, because they love Lane, and Lane's always a great quote, but so many people in the national media, they have turned a blind eye and just kind of let Lane do what Lane does. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so then this morning, finally, some national media stood up and asked him some very difficult questions about his future. And then, of course, he immediately pivots and says it's the media's fault. But it's his agency, CAA, and Jimmy Sexton. They're the ones that's created this monster. They're the ones that have allowed everyone to see the family members get off the planes in Gainesville and in Baton Rouge, Florida. Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I mean, it's ridiculous what's been going on with these guys. But somebody needs to hold them accountable. Either you're going to be all in or you're not.
Yeah, we're talking about the tune of $13.5 million a year and the big money that is college football. Answer the question.
1-800-239-WJOX.
And if you don't know, don't you just say, I don't know. I'm not sure if I want to be here next year. It's very tempting, the LSU offer or the Florida offer or both offers. And this is why, Keith. Maybe those conversations are happening. Because they talked twice today.
That's what Lane said. I've been getting a lot of text messages from folks that in the media that are listening to us right now, like Trey had an opportunity to listen to the press conference this morning or the teleconference in its entirety, and they said it's pretty amazing what they heard this morning. So, but
very contentious.
Yeah, very much so. Here's a clip. John Saber, he was listening. Let me first off, before we play this clip, John, every Wednesday, John, some days it's some days it's contentious, some days it's rather boring. But John, you do that every single Wednesday. Tell us what you heard today and how was it different from other Wednesdays?
Well, normally it's actually kind of funny because I think Lane is kind of messing around with everyone because normally he was later in the teleconference, and then for like 3-4 straight weeks, he was always late. So then he got moved to a different time, and then he started being late again and would kind of almost just be nonchalant with a lot of his answers. And unsurprisingly, there were a good number of people on today, and most everyone asked him kind of about what was going on in the alleged ultimatum and everything. And actually, there's one good answer that I wish we had time to play because it's like 4 minutes because Lane kind of rants. But he was asked what do you want his legacy to be, and actually gave a pretty good answer. I may try and clean that up so we can have that later. But this was friend of Jock's, Chris Vanini, actually talking with Lane on the teleconference earlier, and just listen.
Okay. There you go. Wow. Once again, us in the media, we're the bad guys.
Lane, could you foresee a situation where Ole Miss wants an answer, you can't give them an answer, and they don't trust what your eventual answer is going to be, and they tell you that you can't coach the Egg Bowl? How do you think he responds? I don't know what you're talking about.
Meanwhile, and I mentioned this earlier, Steve Sarkisian, he was asked about his future at the University of Texas, and he says people reporting or insinuating that there's a possibility I could leave the University of Texas, and that's absolutely false and untrue. I'm not going anywhere, end of quote. That's Steve Sarkisian. That's what he said. But meanwhile, you just heard what Lane Kiffin had to say. I mean, he is chastising Chris Vanini for asking a question about his future at Ole Miss. Laughing at Vanini, like, well, I mean, I'm at work. I mean, where would I be? Well, I don't know, Lane. Your whole family has been touring the Southeastern Conference footprint over the last 3 days. I don't know. Figured like you're on a virtual Zoom call with your family members in Gainesville, looking at condos. I don't know.
Don't play favorites. Send them to Fayetteville.
Now that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Considering the fact that Lane had his choice of either Arkansas or Ole Miss, and he chose Ole Miss over Arkansas.
He's he sends Juice to the Fayetteville tour. It's just
He
Juice
just sends
gets
the
off
dog.
the plane.
He sends the dog.
Juice sees ducks and he just starts running.
That's unbelievable. Only Lane. All right, when we come back on Three Man Front, we'll get to your text message at 205-834-9450 on the Courtesy GMC text line. And speaking of Courtesy GMC, all month long, it is the Black Friday sales event, and you can't miss it. Biggest savings of the year with the lowest prices in the Southeast, up to $14,000 off MSRP on the remaining 2025 2500 HDs in stock, up to $12,000 off MSRP on 2026 Sierras in stock. You know, Fat Joe, I told you the story a couple weeks ago. Fat Joe's daughter bought a GMC Terrain from Courtesy GMC, and they did their legwork. They called all around the Southeast looking for the best deals possible on a GMC, and guess where they ended up? Courtesy GMC, right off of I-459, exit 32. That's what Fat Joe did, and his daughter, you can do it too. Go by and see them. They're going to take care of you just like they took care of their family with a brand new Terrain. So get by and see them off of I-459, exit 32 in Trussville. Visit their online inventory at courtesybirmingham.com.
We still have folks that are showing up. Just had a text. We got people en route right now to bring food items, your non-perishable food items that are going to local families, not only here in the surrounding area, but beyond. We appreciate all of Jock's family and your support of others during this holiday season. We continue. We've got Conrad. We've got
Conrad's mom is now here.
Gravy Bath. We have Conrad's mom. How did I got so many questions. She's such a sweet lady. Such a civilized, sweet lady. And then there's that.
Go ahead. Hey, do
Do it, Conrad. Do it for Mom.
Hey, do your dance, Conrad.
Conrad,
Hey,
the dance.
It's time for your dance. Let's go. Do your dance.
Apparently the dance
Here on Three Man Front. Ryan Haney jumping in for just a minute along with Molly Robinson. Weather has hit us here in Homewood a little bit. Guys, transitioning upstairs as we finish off our food drive. Damian walks in. We appreciate everybody that donated ahead of time and through today. We estimate over $5,000 worth of food donations.
Oh, wow.
And so there's 100 families, as we've talked about, that we will be able to be blessed, and so many more as we will be going to the food banks around town tomorrow to drop things off. So really an unbelievable couple days, Damian.
It really has. And for it to be as quickly as we put it together and to see, just the loving people from around, especially our listeners, come up and just help out. It was a lot of love today. It really does kind of get you in the season of Thanksgiving, of just what it's all about and just being thankful for just what we're able to do and also help out the community.
We spend so much time with what we do on Twitter. We joke about what a vile place it is.
Yeah.
Whether it's bots or people or whatever. And it's not just there. It's a lot of social media. And we live in this world where we're pushing content to social media because that's where people are consuming content. And so it's like a lot of times on your timelines, all you see is just negative, mm-hmm. or it's majority negative. And really just since Monday, the last 3 days, like you were just saying, it's hard not to get choked up, truthfully talking about it, because it's that human connection and in seeing people that are able, even if it's one can or two cans, it didn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
help people that are struggling, because there's a lot of people struggling out there. So it's been just tremendously, look, I've been here 27 years. For those who've listened to the station for a long time, I've been here a long time. We've done a lot of things, and I'm not one of these absolutists, but we've done a lot of things in 27 years. I can honestly say this is the most proud I've ever been of a group that I've worked with, that's worked for us, the listeners, just because of the time we're living in. And it's really hard. There's a lot of people struggling out there. So as we argue about the college football playoff and the Heisman and which coach is going where and why your team stinks and my team's great, and it's all in good fun, it's nice to kind of put it all into perspective here, as you said, as we get into the Thanksgiving season.
Yeah, it's been awesome, man, and we appreciate you as well as our boss, man. You sign the checks, but you also look out for us like we are family. It's been awesome to work for you and work beside you. And I mean, like today, like it was kind of, we're seeing listeners pop in. It's like, man, we love what y'all do. We love having fun with y'all talking. I mean, they see me in an Ole Miss shirt. They're like, oh, so that's who you're rooting for this year. But also just bringing up, like the canned goods things and like even the money. We're trying to explain to people, man, like you don't realize how impactful this is going to be down the road.
So if you are in the area, don't stop. We will be out back, or the truck is set up out back until 2 p.m. There's still a little bit of food left, some drinks left if you haven't had lunch or want something to drink. Orlando's back there, and I think when Pat and Landrum get back in here, we'll shuffle back in downstairs. We just happened to be on the hall, and Saber and Molly grabbed us real quick. But in the meantime, while they transition, we will go back to the phone lines. David, welcome in.
What's going on, guys?
How are you?
Man, I'm great. I tell you what, it always hits me this time of year, Thanksgiving and Christmas, when you realize how blessed we are and you start getting fired up and mad about sports, and you're like, wait a second, there's probably some bigger things going on in the world that we need to worry about.
Right.
But so having said that, I was calling in to kind of joke about Lane. I kind of feel like Lane Kiffin is the girl at the bar that likes to have a drink bought for her, but never wants to go anywhere. She'll get that drink and sneak off. I
use the example, and I don't know that it's a good example. It's everybody can live their own life how they want. But one of my best friends in the world, lifelong friend, is a professor at Ole Miss. And I spent a bunch of time at Oxford. And what Lane has done, they've embraced him. Everyone's embraced him. They've given him everything. But at some point, Ole Miss can't be the wife that you're just coming home, or the spouse you're just coming home to sleep in the same bed with when you're out. And then saying, well, that's okay because my spouse is at least coming home to me. We know he's out doing she's doing all this other stuff, but at least he's coming home to me. Who cares? It's wrong. Like at some point.
Yeah, no, figure it out.
Yeah, and to that point, see, I've been ranting on this in the hallway all week. The gaslighting on that teleconference of it's everybody else's fault. The way John Sokoloff got crucified a few years ago in his reporting, when at that point in time, what he reported, regardless of what anybody says was accurate, there was a change of heart. So then the gaslighting comes. It's what you're talking about with fan bases. What happens when the gaslighting comes? The fans rally behind the one gaslighting. And I hope to God if he stays at Ole Miss, they don't defend him. They'll say thank you for that, but we're done with this. Like enough's enough. Stop doing it. They deserve better.
And I truly believe he's going to go and he's run around and don't even think that he didn't let those pictures of his family in those 2 cities get leaked, or the 1 city. But what he's going to do, he's going to get an extra $2 million and be like, oh, I just wanted to see how much y'all loved me. Here I am. And then, it'll happen in 2 years from now. Like he's playing Ole Miss like a fiddle. And it's really crazy to me that these big donors and the administrators at these universities don't see that.
Well, and I'll say this: people would always blame the agent. No, the agent works for the coach.
Yep.
The coach can tell him to stop. You never saw this crap with Nick Saban when his name got, and there was rumors flying around that Texas was interested or this or that. It was never played out like that. I mean, it's why, Lane? I mean, you don't have to do it, man. You're a damn good football coach. People think you're funny. They don't like all your antics. That's fine. But to me, it's asinine because it's overshadowing the tremendous story that is Ole Miss football this year and how far they've come.
And he could stay at Ole Miss for 10 years and make the playoffs every other year and be a legend. And I think that's what he knows he can do, but he just wants to get a little bit more because everybody knows, guys. Yeah. It's about ego when you get to this point. The money doesn't matter anymore.
No, if I were Lane Kiffin, would I leave Ole Miss for the other 2 right now? No, I wouldn't. He's got it made right there. Again, they've done everything, but treat him with the respect. Because here's what's going to happen if he stays: the gaslighting is going to come back, and there's going to be a large segment of the fan base, because that's how fans work, that are teeing off on everybody else. We told you he loves us. Well, he sure didn't act like it. Just because he came home doesn't mean. I mean, that's the part I don't like. I think that fan base that wants to take the next step so bad, and truthfully, with what Lane's been able to do there, deserves to. I hate that that's being overshadowed by the circus that's going on.
And they're so scared because they know they can get there, but they don't know what to do.
Right.
But anyway,
I will tell you this:
I hope y'all got a lot of food today for the people that need it, and we will check in later on. You'll have a great afternoon.
Thank you for the call, David. And Pat. Oops, I'm not used to the phones. Thank you, Molly. Pat, you and I were texting the other day, and we've talked a lot about this Lane situation. I'm not going to put words in your mouth. I know we personally feel a lot of the same. Like, just stop. Stop with the games. You can stop it if you want to. You don't want to.
Oh, he doesn't want to. Neither does his representation.
But I said before you walked in. But Jimmy works for Lane, right? Without that, so I mean. We both know people that have told agents to stop things at times.
And they keep on doing it.
But I will say this. If Lane is ultimately going to leave, I'd like to see Lane in the NFL. Because I think given a second chance with the way he's been able to construct the rosters and the way he can game plan at Ole Miss, I think it would be different this time around if he went back to the NFL.
Yeah, it will be. We've got a few more minutes left to go in this program. We are kind of a split broadcast. We've been in the parking lot. We had a little technical snafu, but walking upstairs up here to the studio, so we're trying to get that resolved. If we cannot get things back to normal out in the parking lot, what we are going to do is after the show, we'll be streaming this live on Twitter. You'll be able to watch all the food challenges going on with Conrad. I know so many of you gave Venmo for the opportunity to see these things, and we will bring that to you on our social media channels if we cannot get everything up and running in the next few minutes. Keep it tuned right here to Jocks and 3-Man Front.
145, we continue back in the parking lot here at Cumulus Media. Other great listeners, I don't know if he wants me to use his name, but a very generous listener that actually has worked with your mother, Conrad.
That's right.
In his past. They were both educators, maybe
the wonderful
former principals.
I was about to say, the wonderful Mountain Brook school system.
I did not know that. I knew that your mom, she did that, but I didn't know it was in the Mountain Brook school system.
Absolutely, yep.
What happened to you?
I did not go to Mountain Brook.
Well,
I got a lovely education at Hayden High School.
You know what?
That's what happened to me.
And a guy named Jacob Durante, who went to your school.
That's right. You're bowling,
I bowled
buddy.
with him last night. He came up strong in games 2 and 3.
Ah, very nice.
We
Yeah,
got
Jacob's
5
a
of
good
7
guy.
points last night. Oh, he speaks highly of you, which makes me question his
I was about to say that should make you question everything. Good to see you, Mike.
You were the student class president, apparently.
I was, apparently. Well, can you not? I really know how to rally a crowd. Come on, Andrew.
Did you have more in your graduating class than Damian Mitchell had in his, and that was 9?
Yeah, we had like 175, so we're doing a little better.
Well, that's respectable.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody for bringing by all
Yes.
the donations today, whether it be monetary or also the food items. We have got a lot of food. The goal was to feed 100 families for Thanksgiving, and I think we're going to be able to do well beyond that.
Yes. So the cool thing is, because some of the people that are still filtering in and giving up some of the food and handing out donations, is we have a van parked next to us, and inside that van, everything over there. Let me see if I can get the camera. Well, you can kind of see it on the camera. The van that's in the camera shot, that is all extra food that we are going to send to a local.
Back in studio here at Jocks and 3-man front, Pat Smith, Damian Mitchell, as we just lost connection again. Man, luckily we're just like, 2 floors up from the actual site of the broadcast.
It's been a day.
Sitting down looking.
It's been an eventful about 30 minutes, man.
It was smooth sailing. It was fantastic. Like, there was not a problem in the world. And then all of a sudden, boom. Can you imagine if we were like 30 miles away from the radio station? That'd have been a problem.
No, I can't. But overall, it's been a wonderful day. It really has been.
It's been fantastic. And I know Landrum was just talking about it, but all kidding aside, what the Jocks listeners have done over the course of the last 3 days, it's not that it shocks any of us, because we see your interaction every single day on the text line, phone calls, tweets. We see it every day. But, man, it's just very humbling to see a great market like Birmingham come together and donate your money, your time, food that you went to the grocery store and purchased. Just great people. And it was so fun to meet so many of you that we've not had a chance to say hello and shake your hand and tell you thank you. We want to thank Chubb Fathers down in Alabaster for giving us those great gift certificates that we gave away to listeners. Also to Twin Peaks, who provided lunch today. Also Milo's Sweet Tea, they dropped off and they provided the drinks today. And just so many of you. Friends of Rickwood that gave us some autographed materials that we gave away to a baseball fan that gave to the cause. So we appreciate it very much, Damian. And I know a lot of people been upset about the college football playoff rankings last night. Bama falling from 4 to 10, but you know what? It was good to see some smiling faces today.
Yeah, it was. And, now since Lane Kiffin is kind of entertaining the coaching carousel, his family's taking trips to Gainesville and Baton Rouge. Ole Miss is being the talk of the town during a bye week. Never would have thought that that would happen.
No, did not have that on my bingo card.
No.
That definitely was not going to be on there. I will tell you what we are going to do, because I know many of you are wondering about the food challenges. So Conrad will have a 5-minute food challenge, and we're going to conduct this when we go off the air, because we only got a few minutes left, and then many of you will be tuned into the Paul Feinbaum Show. But we will be live on our social media channels, and you will be able to watch the first food challenge. Over a 5-minute period, he is going to eat a whole can of cranberry sauce. Then he'll eat half of an apple pie and a whole corn cob. That is what he is expected to do in a 5-minute period. Then he will be dumped with about 4.5 gallons of gravy.
Ugh.
And then don't forget, next week, part of the tiered challenge that so many of you gave money to, he will have to wear an Auburn jersey. He'll wear a Cam Newton jersey next Friday.
Okay.
Prior to the Iron Bowl, and he will be painted up in orange and blue.
Oh.
That's right. And if Auburn wins the Iron Bowl, then the next week he will wear Cam's jersey the whole entire week. Now, he won't be painted up, but he'll wear the Cam Newton jersey all week long. So it's a big week and a half for
It really is.
for Conrad.
It really is. He has a lot to be thankful for up until the day before the Iron Bowl. But I think that's entertaining, to say the least, because even in the midst of everything, with Alabama falling to Oklahoma, Auburn having a pulse against Vanderbilt, I'm not going to say we're not players. We can actually look forward to a lot of things. I mean, as long as I'm assuming that Auburn and Alabama will handle their business and get against their respective FCS opponents this weekend. But the Iron Bowl's got a little bit more juice now.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm here for it.
No, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
Now, listening to your show this morning that Conrad talks on sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some mornings.
Also known as Morning Jocks.
Yes. Just your quick thoughts on what you saw last night from the CFP. Any level of concern for Alabama dropping 4-10?
Yeah, I just don't understand what the committee truly values, because to me, if you're going by the resume, Alabama has more ranked wins than anybody ahead of them. And I can understand them dropping after losing Oklahoma, understandable. But when you compare those teams with 2 losses, they have the best resume because of the wins. And I understand, Florida State, you lost. That was the first game of the season, and you lost by 2 in the worst game that you've pretty much put on tape. You still lost by 2 to the number 12 team in the nation at that time. So my only disconnect was, why wasn't there any sort of transparency? Like, I can understand losing a game, but when you look at what the wins were as opposed to what the losses were, how could they not be ahead of Notre Dame? Like, that was just my biggest question mark of, okay, I can understand you're knocking them down for sure, but if you're comparing resumes side by side, well, this team has beaten 4 ranked teams. They have the best win in college football. If you look at it, it's over Georgia. So I kind of had a disconnect with there. I wasn't as passionate as Conrad because I don't bleed crimson, but I can understand his frustration of, okay, what is the committee really valuing?
Well, and then Heather Dinich brought this fact up on her social media channels last night after the rankings, in which she stated, what happens if BYU beats Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship game? So BYU gets the automatic berth for the Big 12. Texas Tech is not going to fall that far back. So you would think Texas Tech is still going to be in front of Alabama. So does that mean that the Big 12 would get 2 teams in, and that ultimately a 2-loss Alabama team who's now 5th on the board in the SEC, is that the team you got to worry about not making the CFP, even with 2 losses?
I think it's worth the discussion. But I look at it from this perspective again. It's, who have they beaten? Like, you can say that they look this bad in their losses, but in that same breath, you have to account there are other games that they matched up with ranked teams and they won. This is the first ranked opponent that beat them.
They lost, yeah.
So it's, okay, well, they did everything they were supposed to do except 2 times, and yet in the grand scheme of it all, I wouldn't be able to have that conversation. Like, I look at the Big 12 and you start talking about strength of schedule, strength of record. It wouldn't even come close to what the SEC is doing week in and week out.
Yeah, no, I agree. And the SEC, look at the number of teams that are ranked from the Southeastern Conference.
Mm-hmm.
9 teams in this conference is ranked in the top 25. 9. So we'll see what happens.
Man.
A reminder, coming up in just a couple minutes, you can watch on our Twitter feed. We'll be streaming it live on Twitter, the food challenges with Conrad Van Order, which will include a 5-minute food challenge, and then he will get dumped by 4.5 gallons of gravy. I'm not sure if he's going to be wearing his pilgrim outfit or not, Damian. I'm not sure if he wants to ruin that.
I wouldn't. He's got to wear it next Thursday.
But I'm worried because he says all week that since he's had it on, he doesn't have anything on underneath.
Well, that could be an issue. That could be an issue. But Conrad's a trooper. He's strong. I'm more worried. I mean, I understand the gravy part, but I'm actually worried about the food challenges. Like, that's a lot to consume within 5 minutes.
Well, considering the fact that he hates cranberry sauce.
Oh, he's not a big cranberry sauce guy.
No, so he's got to eat a whole can of that. He's got to eat a half of an apple pie. We've got a whole pie down there for him. He loves corn, so the corn on the cob is not going to be a problem for him. But then he's got to get dumped on the gravy, and he hates gravy. So thank you, everybody. It's been a great last 3 days. We appreciate your generosity, your benevolence. Thank you so much. Continue on during this holiday season to remember those that are in need. Thank you so much for all of us here at Jocks. Keep it tuned right here to the social media channels. The food challenges are coming up next here on Three Man Front. We'll see you back at studio tomorrow.